Hello all. So I watched The Flash. I didn't actually want to that much. An odd thing for a massive comic nerd like me. And especially given I've watched pretty much every superhero film, even the really terrible ones. The problem is I don't really like Ezra Miller as The Flash. Putting aside the real world stuff, I just don't rate him as an actor. I don't think he's got any charisma, and in fact for me, he's got whatever the opposite of that is. Adding to that, he runs like Phoebe from Friends. So the idea of two of him wasn't one that enticed me to watch, I have to admit. I guess now you're waiting for the big but and surprise turnaround, but sadly there isn't going to be one. I'm going to avoid spoilers and try to only reference stuff that's in the trailer. Unfortunately, the film jumps the shark in the first 10 minutes. It's monumentally dumb. And for at least the first half, Ezra is irritating, but not nearly as irritating as Ezra 2. I guess they're supposed to be funny, but it really didn't work for me. Ezra 1 does get better as time passes and he becomes more serious, and the film also improves, specifically and unsurprisingly when Batman appears. Keaton is great, but if you've seen one of the member berries in the trailer, both of those moments fall flat. However, the echoes of Danny Elfman's rousing Batman score, which surface throughout the film, are simply fantastic. That got the nostalgia juices flowing and reminded me of a better film I'd rather be watching. What really surprised me, though, was how good Sasha Calle was at Supergirl, not Supergirl. Apart from the core conceit, this really isn't Flashpoint, because this should be Superman. But she brings a real presence to the role. She's tragic but strong, determined but broken, and underneath there's a fantastic element of fragility. So she really won me over. The action is okay, it has some exciting moments, but it's pulled down by the seriously dodgy CGI, which is truly terrible in places. And not a spoiler, just a nod that if you're going to this for the nostalgia of the whispered about cameos, really don't bother. I'd also say don't get too hung up on trying to figure out the film. Its internal logic doesn't make much sense. It's time travel, multiple dimensions, multiverses. They're never going to make sense. Fun to talk about if you're a geek or a nerd, but beyond that, just let that roll over you. Now, the core of the story has some heart, and I should have been moved by it and more affected, but ultimately it felt hollow, and I'm not totally sure why. Maybe it was the Ezra effect. So to sum it up, it was an okay distraction for a couple of hours or so. It was cool to see Affleck and Keaton as their respective Batmans, but I'm not sure of its rewatchability, if that's even a word, because I'm not sure I'll bother myself. I'm certainly not going to pay for it. Sorry that's a bit of a negative one. I really was genuinely hoping to be won over by this because I'd heard some good comments, but it was fine but did not rock my world. As I say, I get the sense that this one splits the audience, so tell me what you thought if you've seen it. Does Ezra rock your world or leave you cold like me? Did you get the tingles when you saw Keaton again? Please like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. And as always, thanks for listening. Peace out.